You're listening to the Nonsiders,
a podcast dedicated to bringing you different perspectives on social and cultural subjects. Here we go. Hey, Nonsiders, this is Sam. Welcome to the second episode. We're excited to be back, and I'm here with Safi.
Very excited.
Very excited, man. So this time we've spent more time researching and study, so we're going to give you better material this time for sure.
I hope so. I mean, that's the goal, we see how it goes.
You did your homework?
Just a little bit, But I'm going to let it flow.
Yeah, man. So this is kind of a breaking news. It's 9 a.m. in the morning. We just got news that Joe Biden is going to be the elected president. He's leading the electoral votes 284, and Trump is at 214. So It's pretty sad. And
well, by the time this goes out, I feel like a lot of people will know, that he won.
So it's going to take a couple of days to edit this, but still.
And I feel like,
news.
because I think there's still some states that are not fully complete, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's a chance, Biden actually might be winning more states. You know what I mean? Pennsylvania was big. Arizona, I think it was big. Nevada's not done yet still. I think he'll probably get that too.
I agree.
Glad he's the president, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Yeah, so you need 270 to win. So 284 to 214, that's 70 electoral votes. It's a big difference.
Big.
Yeah.
The first day, it seemed like, Trump had a good start too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he reached like 214 and then it just paused.
Stopped.
Yeah, and then Biden just kept rising.
Yeah.
So
what's funny, 20 minutes ago, LeBron James put this picture on Instagram. It's his picture of him in the Game 7 of NBA Finals back in 2017 when he blocked Andre Iguodala, which is one of the most historic blocks in NBA history.
Really?
And his head is Joe Biden's and Iguodala's head is Donald Trump. So funny.
Oh, man.
And he says, funny thing is that you and Biden are about the same age. Laughing emoji. Proud of all the work you did and will continue to do, brother.
He got a slam dunk.
Exactly. So it's basically congratulating Joe Biden on winning the president.
Who would have won, this? The last time Trump won, 2016, nobody called it. You know what I mean? I feel like nobody really took Trump that serious and nobody was expecting him to win. You know what I mean? And, he was going against Hillary. Mm-hmm. It was the first female to become the president. So a lot of people just automatically thought, oh, Hillary will win. She's a lady. She's going against Trump. They didn't really think Trump will win, but...
Well, two things. Both of us were in California then, so we were mostly hearing about Californian people's opinion on the subject matter. Mm-hmm. If we were in the South, probably things would have been different. The opinions would have been different. Oh. And, the news came out, the Russians basically hacked the elections through Facebook.
Yeah.
So we don't really know. Maybe this election was hacked too. So I guess we'll find out later.
You never know, man. You're right. You never know, man. Because, we'll get to that later. I think we're going to be talking about some really important things today. Mm-hmm. And I feel like we'll come back to this, why Trump won or what helped him.
Exactly. So we're going to dive into how social media can affect our behaviors on a daily basis without us being aware of it. So make sure you stay tuned, and at any point if you find this video valuable, if you think that someone else needs to see it, make sure you invite your friends to this conversation and have them watch the video.
Please share.
Yeah, because that's how we beat the algorithm and continue to put up good content and have a lot of people see it. So I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. And it's crazy how that works, what I mean? Sharing and just...
Exactly.
More conversation about a subject, and you'll see how, the internet does its thing.
Yeah, we don't want to be needy, because that's one of the things that bothers me and annoys me all the time. Every time I'm watching a YouTube video, please smash that like button, make sure you share it. We don't want to be like that. But at the same time, if you really think it's good value and we're giving you a different perspective that other people not, just invite your friends to see the conversation. Yeah.
Facts.
So how do you think Trump's going to react to the results? Because he's already come out and says, hey, the elections are rigged, the votes are not counted. And I think he said that he's not going to leave the White House. He's going to refuse.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. And it's, I think somebody said something along the lines of, put your big boy pants on and just, accept the loss. Mm-hmm. It was fair. you know, and you can't be a sore loser. You know what I mean? You lost the election, fam. You know, just pack your bags.
Yeah.
So we'll see, but I don't think he will leave like quietly. You know what I mean?
It's gonna be some noise.
I think so. You know, I mean, Trump's personality is like that. You know what I mean? He wants to go to the extreme.
Yeah, we talked about it. He's a showman, so he's even though he's done, he's gonna put on one last show.
Yeah,
it's like the last dance.
I think so. I think so too, man.
This is the last dance. Yeah. We were talking to Safi's brother, and he said that they said that they might have to escort him out the White House.
Yeah, they have to. I mean, if he's not, I mean, he lost. You know what I mean? Your job is done. You know, just like any other job. If you don't leave, they're gonna kick you out. I feel like he's too smart for that, though. I don't think it's gonna get to a point where he has to get forced out. To be honest, because he's built this image of himself. You know what I mean? But then again, he's a crazy guy, man. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know what comes from him. That's why he's so interesting.
Unpredictable.
Okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you think? You think he's gonna leave?
Well, it's gonna, like I said, he's gonna put on a show for sure, and he's gonna make it hard it's not gonna be as smooth as other re-elections. And one more thing is that when you think about it, not I don't hate on Trump at all. You know, I think he's a very successful businessman, and unlike other people that hate him, I just don't like him, but I don't hate him either. But when you see it, when you think about it, he's one of the few presidents in the United States history that has run for re-election and has failed, and now he has to be forced out of the office.
Yeah.
So most presidents that had a four-year that only ran for one time were either assassinated or they had to resign. You know.
Oh.
But he tried to become.
No way.
He tried to run for office again, and he failed. So
I didn't know that. Wow, that's a fun fact.
Yeah, usually most presidents, they go for 8 years.
You're right. I mean, if you're a good president or, good or whatever.
You don't suck.
Yeah, I mean, if you do a decent job, you'll get reelected.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you do a decent job. I honestly think if the pandemic wouldn't have happened, this coronavirus wouldn't, if it never really came, I really do think Trump would have won again.
Really?
Yeah, because the economy was doing really well.
Yeah.
And everything was on the rise. You know what I mean?
That's one of the great things he did was, the U.S. economy was, doing pretty good on that.
It was in his time. It was amazing. You know what I mean? And if that would have continued like that, I think he would have got reelected because everything was so good. You know what I mean?
So, just a crazy thought that popped into my mind. Do you think COVID happened just to get Trump out of the office? It's a crazy thought, but just think about it.
Bro, you never know.
The Chinese are said to be that they released the virus. They're responsible for it, from what I've heard. Yeah. We still don't know for sure, but that's where it started.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So USA and China are both they're the two biggest countries as far as economy goes, right?
Yeah.
So if you're trying to take over and sabotage the other side, a virus, and I've talked to a lot of Republicans, and what they fear is that Biden's going to come here and he's bought out by China and he's going to bring some form of communism back to his country. So from that perspective, it kind of makes sense. It could be conspiracy theories, but we don't know.
Yeah, it could be anything, man. Like you said, it's at a point when, honestly, if you think about it, these countries are like playing games. These corporations, these big, humongous corporations,
and we're just being played by it.
I feel like we're being played by it. So that's why I don't really trust the news anymore, man. It's almost obvious. I feel like if you literally go out of your way a little bit, I think I feel like you see it that these countries are just playing their citizens. Obviously, there's some countries, you know what I mean, that they really do take care of their people, but
mostly it's about mass control.
Yeah. They want to control you. I don't want to get too big on that. They want to control you.
I don't want to be a conspiracy theory channel here, guys, but still, it's good to think about those stuff.
Just thoughts.
Yeah. And talking about news, and I was talking to one of my friends, and he watches news all the time. Like, he's into, just learning everything, finding about news, and also my family too. And I kind of see how it affects their mental health as well. Like, you know, you can't, because news, most of the time when you listen to it, it's all negative.
Facts.
You don't go on news to hear something positive when you think about it. That's how it's set up. And so, like, I see my family, and I also have heard of my friends, like, how it's affecting their emotions and starting to get kind of a mental illness from that. Once they're constantly watching it over time, like years and years of watching news and also maybe social media, and like, you know, they're getting depressed, man.
Facts.
So what's going on with that?
It's, well, the truth is boring. That's what I think. Okay. The truth is boring. And why would a channel or a network, they can't promote boring? You know what I mean? So they have to have news. And usually
To make money?
To make money, they have their own agendas. Every company, but at the end of the line, honestly, it's always about the money. Okay? Always, always, always. So, you know, the truth is boring, and the false information, it's more interesting.
Triggers people.
It just, they get a reaction, they have more viewership. It's just, that's how it is. It's sad, but that's how it is. So obviously, as a company, you see what brings more attention, what brings more eyes. And, you know, sadly, it's the fake news, you know, the things that are probably not true, but it's getting promoted to you. And then that comes into effect of, you know, there's ways, but mental illness, like there's, you know, it has bad effects on people, some of the news or whatever. That's a different topic, but you know what I mean?
Do you think that the subject that we're talking about, you know, news, you know, overload of information, plays a huge role in mental illness?
Definitely.
Have you had any experience with it personally?
Mental illness, I have. I mean, I'd be lying if I said no. I'd be maybe a robot. You know, we're humans. You know, we do go through mental, you know, cycles. One day you're sad, one day you're happy, or whatever. But I have, you know, and it's weird. I'm pretty good with my mental health because I really care about my mental health, and I always want to, you know, I always work on it. But there's times with me, it's weird. It's like maybe once every, 2-3 months, I get really depressed, really, really depressed for like a day or two, just completely gone. You know what I mean? What about you?
So you go like for 3 months, you know, mentally fit, and then just have 2 days down, and then you snap back out of it?
Exactly. I just go really low. And then I guess, you know, I count my blessings. Obviously, it's a work, but I come out of it. It's weird. It's like a cycle I'm on or something. Weird.
So what do you think helps you to snap back out of it? Have you noticed like a pattern? Like, hey, it's my friends, or no, hey, I just, you know, I'm alone for those 2 days, and I keep thinking, and I just hit a breaking point. I'm like, oh, this is what's happening, and then you just snap out of it. How does it work for you?
For me, it's obviously, like I said, counting my blessings. I think that's a good place to start. You know, I've learned, I feel like everybody will have a different one, but I feel like counting my blessing kind of puts me on the right path. And I try to hang out with friends, you know, do the things I love, even though maybe at that state when I'm really feeling low, nothing might sound good, even the things, you know, at one point that I loved. But I still put myself in that situation. You know, if it's me going to play, you know, a soccer match or something, you know, I go play, just zone out. So I try to get my thoughts out. Don't think too much. Don't take too much personal at that level because I'm at a very vulnerable state. You know what I mean? Okay. It's like I try not to absorb a lot of things. Okay.
And what are some emotions and thoughts that go through your minds in those 2 days that you're feeling depressed? What do you think about?
I feel like social media has a lot to do with that, you know, and I feel like a lot of people are suffering from that.
No, what I mean is that, like, what are the thoughts that come to your mind? What are the negative things that you think about? Like, hey, I'm a worthless piece of shit, or no, hey, you know, I miss, like, you look back to the past, maybe like a relationship you think about and keeps you depressed. You know, what are those things that you're connecting with?
I feel like
down days?
I feel like everybody's different. You know, people have their own whatever they're insecure about or whatever. But personally, it's for me. I don't go on the, you know, on the road where I'm like, oh, I'm a piece of shit. I don't do that. For me, it's more of like the decisions I've made in the past, and regrets, and also I feel, coming to America, I don't want to talk about this too much, but coming to America, I'm very grateful for. And sometimes I feel a little bit sad. I'm like, I'm here and there's a lot of other people that are suffering. I don't want to get into that too much, but stuff like that. But then again, I try to say, oh, I'm grateful for this opportunity, blah, blah, blah. So usually it's regrets, I'd say. And then just how, I guess, lucky I am.
Mm-hmm. So gratitude is your medicine, technically.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that mindset.
Yeah, thank you. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's a good place to start. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So.
Definitely.
All right, what about you? Tell me yours.
Well, I think, first of all, I think age plays a big role to it. You're 28, you're fully grown man. I'm 20 right now, so I'm kind of still going.
Wait, are you calling me an old man?
Technically, even though you're childish a little bit.
I'm 27, guys. I'm 27.
Guys, by the way, Safi has a brother that's 24, but the first
25.
25?
Yeah, he's 2 years.
Okay. And the first time I met both of them, I thought the other brother, Shafi, was the older one. Yeah, because he was acting hella childish.
That's not true, guys. Yeah. I was being funny, mate.
Yeah. And he just turned 20, so happy birthday, Safi.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
But yeah, I think for me, I'm still at the point that I'm still going. I'm still mentally growing, still 20 years old, so second year in college. And for me, it's kind of similar to yours because we had a similar story. We both immigrated, and then it was a culture shock.
Yeah.
And you're trying to make friends and fit in, and then first you struggle with it, and because you don't know how to communicate with those people, even though you speak English. Just the things that you talk about, the things that you think about, and the subjects are totally different. So that. When I was in my senior year in high school, my first year here, I went through a cycle, mentally I was depressed. Yeah. And I totally went into this solitude. I was like a solitary thing. I was just on my own all the time, being a loner. And I used to be an extrovert when I was younger, and this turned me to more of an introvert.
Ah.
Yeah. So, I wouldn't really talk to people, even though I had good communication skills. And it just made me feel depressed, bitter about other people. I was like, I hate you guys. I don't want to be fucking talking to you guys anymore because, I felt like I was being pushed away by everyone.
Yeah.
And, it took me a year to snap out of it. And I was like, hey, this is how it is. I need to adjust to it and I need to accept it and not hate other people. Just give them unconditional love, even though if they're not very welcoming with me, just do your own thing, man.
Yeah.
And eventually things will change. But still, I'm still like you. I go through cycles. So, 2 months good. But my down cycle is a little longer than 2 days. So really? I would go for weeks or 2 weeks and feeling down, depressed,
every 2-3 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have a lot of regret, but I think about the past a lot. So I don't regret them, but hey, I just want to know what would have happened and things would have done differently. Things like that. I think about, relationships and failures that I've had with that, and that drains me a lot. I think about all the failures I had, I was trying to play basketball, came here, didn't really make it, that burned me a lot, and I still think about it. So, it's living in the past for me that brings me that mental illness, that depression side of it most of the time. And, every time I go through a cycle, I come back a little bit more mature and a little bit stronger. Facts. So the next time I go through a cycle, it's a stronger subject to deal with. If it would have been the same thing that I was going through on the second cycle, I would have overcome it easier. But it's every level is a bigger beast.
Yeah.
And
exactly. And
one of the things I realized helped me a lot was just realizing that, hey, whatever I'm experiencing is not part of my identity. So, hey, I failed at this. I sucked at this. At the past, I was this. That doesn't make me who I am. That's just experience. Who I am is beyond that. That makes sense. And that made me realize, I think I realized that during the pandemic because that was my latest depression cycle. And it went for a long time because I was just at home all the time. I didn't have work. I didn't have school, And most of my friends were on lockdown, so it's just me in my home, in my room. So I'll go, you go through life questioning, hey, what am I doing here? What is my purpose? Blah, blah, blah.
I swear.
And I hit that breaking point. And I just realized, and I snapped out of it.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, let me go find a job. and trying to go back to work, keep myself busy with other stuff, helped me come back out of it. And since I realized, hey, my experiences don't make me who I am, I haven't been really depressed.
Good. And to kind of add to that, so, when we go down, when we go low, like I said, I usually try to start with, being thankful and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we also need to realize that life will not always be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Life will not always be in a state of content, in a state of bliss. You know what I mean? So for me, I have tried to accept that and said, you know what? I will go through hard times.
Yeah.
I will get depressed. I will be anxious at times.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a part of life. So I try to detach myself a little bit from it, but at the same time, accept it that, hey, this is part of life. You know what I mean? I will go through this. And usually when you go through these rough times, these rough patches, like you said, you come out a little bit stronger, a little bit more wiser,
Yeah.
a little bit more prepared for life.
Mm-hmm.
So I almost see it as a good kind of thing.
It makes you grow.
A good experience, yeah. So I have never been shy of that. And I feel like that's a good way to look at things when life is hard.
Yeah, man. Like Kanye West says, whatever doesn't kill you, what? Makes you stronger.
Makes you stronger, buddy.
Exactly.
And it's true.
Man.
You know what I mean?
Even though he has mental disorders and he's bipolar, he's right about that for sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, dude, that guy Kanye West is a bit, that's a whole new topic.
Yeah.
But he's an interesting human being.
He's an interesting person. He was running for president. I think he got 500,000 votes for him.
Oh,
something
really?
like that.
Wow.
500,000, or it was either 50,000 or 500,000.
I think it was 50,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way it's going to, I feel like, no, man.
Like he's not fit to be a president, even though he's a big culture icon. Like if you're bipolar, you got some mental disorders, you can't be running for president. So that's crazy. But anyways, one more question I got for you is that who do you think is more vulnerable to mental health? Do you think girls are more vulnerable?
Yes.
Or do you think boys are more vulnerable?
And let me tell you why. Yes, I do think girls are more targeted. Let me say that. More targeted towards depression and all that is because the social media. Social media plays a very, very big part in mental illness and how it almost promotes depression and all that. You know what I mean?
By like setting beauty standards and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and just
exactly.
Forces people to like try to look like those. Okay.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And people want to look interesting online. You know what I mean? And so they will do things to, look better or get that extra like.
Like the filters
and all that. So people want to look more like, closer to filters than being original.
Do you know that there is a term called Snapchat dysmorphia that it's made by plastic surgeons, and it's basically having this disorder to want to have plastic surgery to look more like the Snapchat filters that are out there. So like it's actually sort of called Snapchat dysmorphia. It's crazy.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
And it all has to do with internet, bro. You know what I mean? With social media, like I said, these social media you want to get into it deeper?
Exactly. Before I do that, I want to give you guys some perspective on like as far as numbers go, just to give you an idea like, hey, how mental illness has increased over the last decade. So I was doing some research last night, and since 2009, U.S. hospital admission for non-fatal self-harm has increased by 62% for girls in the age range of 15 to 19 years old, and that's per 100,000 people. And for age group of 10 to 14 years old, it's been up by 189%.
Wow.
So these are non-fatal. So basically, the girl cuts herself, just harm yourself, but it doesn't kill you.
Okay.
And the suicide rate for group age of 15 to 19 years old has increased by 70% since 2009. And for age group from 10 to 14 years has increased 151%.
Damn.
So as you can see, 10 to 14 years is more like middle school.
Yeah.
And that shows that people are more vulnerable, especially girls, because these are the girl stats for females.
Oh, so this is all females.
Yeah, all
female
females,
stats.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it basically shows that the middle schoolers, they're more vulnerable to depression and mental illness.
Yeah.
And as you grow a little bit, the statistic come down, fortunately, but still, that's 151% suicide rate increase.
Damn.
Yeah.
And this has all started
Since 2009, around that time. And if you think about it, 2009, 2010, that's when social media started to become available on cell phones. So when you have it on cell phone, it's constantly with you.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying when I
You're
was saying.
spending more screen time.
Uh-huh.
So think about it.
Well, you've seen the movie The Social Dilemma?
Oh yeah, I was actually watching it last night, finishing it, because it's I got brain fried halfway through the movie, because it's just just showing you so many facts, and it's just opening your third eye of truth.
Yeah.
But I was like, hey, hold on, I need to take a break.
Yeah.
Go walk and then come back, watch the rest of it. But man, if you guys haven't watched it, I'm telling you, you need to go watch it. It's on Netflix, and as far as the rating goes, it got 7.7 out of 10.
Wow.
So it's better than half of the Hollywood movies out there right now.
Yeah.
And you learn so much about it, and it shows you subtle things that are happening to you every day that you're not aware of. And that it's going to make a big difference in your life after you watch that movie. But
let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it. So basically, the movie is about exposing how the Silicon Valley industry, so social media platforms, all software platforms, have created these algorithms, that it's basically what they're saying.
It's manipulating.
It's manipulating and making it addictive.
For sure.
We always hear that saying that, hey, Google is a search engine. Facebook is just a platform to connect you with your friends. They're here to serve humanity. Yes, that's what it was back then they started.
Yeah.
2000s, mid 2000s, late 2000s. But now they've totally changed.
Definitely.
So there's this quote that I wrote down. So they say that social media is not a tool. It was in the beginning. Now it's an addictive and manipulating tech environment.
Yes. Well, I want to actually talk about this too. Exactly. Social media, when at first, the 2009 and 10s, like you were saying, these mental health issues and, more people dying or suffering from depression, all that, it started around the social media age, when apps started, being available in phones and stuff. And social media, this is what I was saying, it definitely has effects on kids, especially on kids and on girls specifically, because appearances and stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think girls are more self-conscious.
Yeah, like who gets more likes and all that. Yeah. It all, and like you said, the movie The Social Dilemma talks about it and shows you how that works.
Yeah.
And it works by, they record how much time you you kind of, spend on each picture. And all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the good thing about this movie is that everyone who's being interviewed in that movie has worked for either Google, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. And so these are the insiders that are coming out, and they're questioning their ethics. I'm like, hey, the algorithm is set to what? Show you the content that you want the most, as long as possible, so you spend as long as possible on the screen. You want to have more screen time, but are they ethically right? Because these algorithms aren't created by psychologists to help you stay in a good psychological state. They're designed by mathematicians and engineers to show you, to keep recommending you content that you've already watched.
And let me tell you how that works. Like you said, at first when it came, it was a tool, definitely, and it still is a tool. You can still connect with people.
It does.
And where I want to take this is that it's a company. At the end of the day, what do companies want?
Money.
They want money. They want they want to make more money. So and then the business model, these people are, hired for business model to make, to monetize, to bring in more money.
Eventually.
So they study the data of, people, of users, of you and I.
Yeah.
Everybody. And they see what you like. They see how much time you spend on a picture. or they see what kind of searches you do, and from that, they promote. You know what I mean? They advertise for these other companies, and that's how they get paid. So at the end of the day, like I said, everything is about money, man. You have to be careful what kind of news you take, what you spend your time on, because it's all getting recorded.
Let me give you a little bit of perspective on the movie. So I'm basically going to paraphrase on what they say, and going to basically lay down the whole thing and make you guys understand it like in 2 minutes. So the quote that I want to say, that I want to basically say from the movie, is that there are two industries that call their customers users: illegal drugs and software. So have that in mind.
Facts. It is a drug.
Exactly.
It is a drug.
The main character in this movie that is being basically interviewed is called Tristan Harris. He used to be design ethicist at Google, so he would design the email and the Gmail technically. Yeah. And so he basically just explains everything in detail. Hey, how this whole things work, and he says that this software, the Silicon Valley, has 3 goals.
Yeah.
Engagement, growth, and monetization. So engagement means, how long can I keep you on the screen?
Yeah.
What content am I showing you?
Yeah.
And how they increase that by just subtle designs in the app. So, when you're on TikTok, Instagram, when you're on the Explorer, you just press refresh and refresh.
Yeah.
And so you're waiting to get that dopamine shot from from new posts. So, it's kind of like, when you go to Las Vegas and you're gambling, you press that jackpot machine.
Cha-ching.
Yeah. Hoping to get that all 3 match. It's kind of the same thing. So that's one of them. Notification is another way to, keep you more engaged.
Yeah.
So for me, I personally turned off all my notifications because I don't want to be distracted.
Smart.
But Snapchat, Instagram, I see all my friends have their notification on. So that will just if you see someone tagging, if you see your friend tagged you on a photo, you're not going to ignore that. You're going to definitely go, you're going to go check it out for sure.
Yeah. And also, I don't want to, obviously we these are our viewpoints. I'm not saying yes, go ahead and turn off that. It's up to you. What I wanna promote is really
awareness.
Be aware of the kind of things you the kind of things you promote, and the kind of information you receive.
Exactly.
Like I said, you could use social media in a really positive way. You know what I mean? But be mindful.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard, and just be mindful that the news that's coming in front of you, proof check it.
Exactly.
See if it is true or not. And I think we could still change it though. I think we could still move in,
Yeah. Here, let me finish those 3 goals. So engagement, and then growth is about how often are you going to come back? So you're going to spend 30 minutes on your screen, turn it off. Are you going to come back or not? Because the goal is to spend as much time as possible on the screen, right? So it's about how long you spend and also how often you spend time. And the last goal is to try to monetize it. Between every 5 posts you see, they want to throw an ad.
Yeah.
So those are the 3 goals. And one thing is that really, brain fried me when I was watching the movie was that Facebook reportedly ran a massive scale contagion experiment. And what they were trying to do with this experiment was they were trying to see if they can use subliminal clues on Facebook pages to get more people to go vote in the midterm elections.
Yeah.
And they realized that they were able to do that. So that kind of, scares me, bro, because think about it, how do we get our information nowadays? It's all internet. No one goes to the library. No one really goes on Google and, searches specific terms. It's all about the recommendations that we see, or the friends that our friends send us information, which they also get their information from recommendation.
Yeah.
So we technically have one source of information, and that's from the algorithm, what they recommend.
And it's the computer it's computers.
The AI.
It's computer, artificial intelligence. And
exactly.
They are trying to understand what you like and what kind of information, they send you. So
the more data you give them, the more
they know
predictable
about you.
We become.
Yeah, the more they know about you.
Exactly. And so think about it. They say the previous election was rigged. Maybe this election is going to be rigged. Who knows? We're going to find out.
I don't even know, man. First of all, I have no, like I said, I see, especially America, okay? It's a big corporation. Everything is a corporation. Every branch of anything that you see. It's a corporation. So first of all, I don't even think these politicians, this is a different topic, but they just do to bring in more money. Like I said, it's all about money and all that. So we as ordinary people, we just need to be careful, see what kind of information we're taking. I'm not trying to get everybody scared,
don't get cynical from all this.
Yeah, this is just
that's what it's designed to do. Even though most people, when they find out about these stuff, they're like, "Oh, life sucks."
I'm still gonna use Instagram, fam.
Yeah, for sure. Use it. Just one thing you want to do is to just increase your awareness, for sure.
Yeah,
and
that's all we're trying to.
The only thing that scared me was like these companies have the ability to,
that's what's crazy about
manipulate and change the direction. So think about it. Ever since Trump, everyone is blaming Trump to have divided the country. Yes, he's the main face.
He's the face of it.
But think about what is behind the curtains. So where we're getting all our news from is from Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, blah, blah, blah. And if their algorithm is based on showing you the content that you're already watching and take you down the rabbit hole, the Democrats going to continue to see Democrat topics and content, and the Republicans going to continue to see their own content.
Yeah.
So
it just divides us.
Everyone sees their own perspective, and you're just going to get drowned in that perspective. And basically, that's how political polarization happens.
Yeah.
We're just giving you the content that you want.
Fact.
Because I see that with my boss. He's a Republican.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And, everyone, like I said, there is no way that you get your content from anywhere else. It's all on internet.
Yeah.
So he goes down deep rabbit holes. He thinks like Hollywood is a satanic cult that's operating in the shadows. He thinks like Biden's going to be bringing communism. And on the other side, my manager, he's a Democrat. And he thinks like, masks should be mandatory. We should have full shutdown. Coronavirus dangerous. So they both using the internet, but they're getting different content.
Definitely.
And, just two different perspectives.
Exactly. And like you said, that it has happened because of the things they've searched, the things they've looked up. And, and the internet, I guess AI, and that's what it's promoting you. So if you search something, it's going to promote more of that.
Exactly.
If that makes sense.
Like, you watch 10 videos, and based on those 10 videos, it just keeps recommending similar videos.
Just like if you watch one cat video, two cat video, bro.
Exactly.
The next day you wake up, you look up your search bar, there's going to be suggestions of cat videos.
Exactly.
Because it sees, that's what he likes, or that's what she likes.
You know what's even more fucked up? They also, so if your screen time goes down, they try. The movie was explaining how they try to bring content that you watched in the past that you spend a lot of time and you just stop doing it for a while. They just bring that back to you. And I noticed it last night. Like 2 months ago, I was looking at some Summer Rae photos. Do you know her?
Yeah, the singer.
Yeah. No. She's an Instagram model.
Okay.
So I watched it 2 months ago.
Singer.
Yeah, and over the past couple of days, it just keeps popping up like on my Explorer feed, just Summer Rae
First
photos.
of all, why were you searching her, fam?
I didn't search her, so I just saw her, but it keeps popping up. So what I did was just go ahead and block that page. I was like, I'm tired of this bullshit. Yeah,
that's like I said. That's how it is, man. It sees what you like, and it promotes more of that. And so that's why like you were saying, that's why people are more divided now, is because, like you said, if you like one thing, it's just going to promote all of that, and then it will persuade you that, hey, whatever you're doing or whatever you're doing, like, this is it. So you start blocking the other, other things, because you've been in this rabbit hole.
Exactly.
And that's all you know.
Get out of that fucking rabbit hole.
And that's all you know. So and then so that's why you need to step outside.
Yeah.
Get off social media a little bit. Do a little cleanse.
Yeah.
I've never done the cleanse, but I feel like I don't need it.
Gonna be on a dopamine fast? Is that what it is?
I don't think I need it. But then again, what if I'm so in it that I'm
you don't even realize.
I don't even realize it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, man, it's fucked up. They know us better than we know ourselves.
What?
They know us better than we know ourselves.
I'm telling you, bro, me and my friends, we joke around sometimes. We're like talking, okay, and then we say something like something crazy, a lie, or like some like a bad joke or something, and we're like, bro, the FBI agent is just going crazy right now.
Well, I think that's a very big exaggeration. There's not going to be people behind the cell phone listening to you.
I mean, you never know if you're somebody that they really need to understand you. Well, no.
Yeah, if you're terrorist.
Yeah, exactly. You can be watched. That's what I'm saying. They have that ability to do those things, and like, you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. But it's just funny. That's what we're making a joke of it. Well, like, dude, we're being watched all the time.
Mm-hmm. You know what's funny, that one of the other side effects of social media is that, hey, everyone's just trying to conform. Everyone's trying to fit in with this ideal, perception that we've created with these, celebrities and Instagram models, YouTube characters. And, everyone's just trying to conform, man. You're trying to fit in. And that just seems so funny to me because people are doing a terrible job at conforming.
With fitting in?
Yeah, man.
I think so too, so man. That's what I always try to promote, uniqueness.
Yeah.
Be unique, man. Mm-hmm. Be you. If it's weird, be weird, man.
Yeah.
If it's whatever, just be, what I'm trying to say, just promote yourself. Mm-hmm. Have that confidence to do whatever you like. Obviously, don't do bad things. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, don't do stupid shit, but at the same time,
be you.
Yeah.
It's more interesting. I mean, look at this. I feel like nowadays people are so similar in ways. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's you don't come along an interesting person nowadays that much. There's a lot out there. Don't get me wrong.
But you also, when you go to YouTube, any social platform, you keep seeing the same type of content over and over again. Because one girl goes on TikTok, does dance movies, goes viral, and now is everybody
following.
Everyone's copying, being copycats. Does that make sense?
Excuse me. Copycats, following, all same thing, brother. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, be unique, man. Get you, what do you say? Get outside the box. If you're receiving an information from one source, you know what? Find a different source. Mm-hmm. If you're, just be agile, be, what do you say? Be more adaptable to things. And I feel like if we're being fed. In every way. How you receive your information, how you, even work out, how you engage with people, the type of people you engage with. You know what I mean? Have different kind of people to engage with, to learn people, to understand, to fit in, not to fit in, to be able to fit in every situation and not just one situation.
Well, there's nothing wrong with fitting into a group. There is something wrong in, dismissing who you are and trying to fit in.
Facts.
So you can gain social validation.
Bravo.
Because I'm pretty sure, and from every person that I've talked to or I've hung around with and they've done that, they feel empty from inside.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're not doing the things you want to do, but you're doing the things what society or what that group is accepting.
It's sad, but it's also kind of funny because, when you look at it from an outside perspective, you're trying so hard to do this and you're failing terribly at it. It's fucking funny.
I swear to God, first of all, to me, everything is funny. Even this whole life experience is funny. How dope this is.
Is this podcast funny?
It's funny. Today is going to be funny day.
Yeah, today's been pretty good so far.
You know what I mean? But that's what I mean. Exactly. At the same time, it's crazy, but it's funny at the same time.
Mm-hmm. And I think, humans have always had this tendency to try to fit in social groups. So conformity is part of our nature. However, it's part of our nature to conform with a group of, 100 people, 200 people. But when social media has connected you to billions and billions of people, and you're trying to conform with that. So social media, think about the growth that social media has had from 2010 to 2020. It's been massive.
Crazy.
I think it's the biggest growth that we've had in any industry.
Facts.
Right?
Facts.
But how much has the human brain evolved over the last 10 years?
Probably not so much, man.
Exactly. So we're way behind. And if we haven't evolved enough to be able to handle all that attention, so we get connected to billions and billions of people and have these conformities, what is that going to lead to? Mental illness, suicide, shit like that.
Facts.
Exactly.
Facts, bro. And we have definitely become, I feel more lazy.
Lazier?
You know what I mean? The thing is, we need to understand is, all the things that we're saying is valid, but at the same time, this is the new world.
You gotta adapt.
We have to adapt. This is a new world. We have to be careful because now it's computers. Now it's the artificial intelligence. It's happening
in front of your eyes, and you're not aware of it.
Yeah, and that's how it's gonna be. It's changing. We cannot stop it. We gotta adapt, man. So we have to be careful.
However,
that's all.
That's not an excuse for these software companies to not be regulated.
For sure.
Because one of the other things that the movie was saying that, hey, we have phone regulation, companies that sell phones, with their data, they're regulated, but the software companies, they're not.
No.
Not at all.
because
So-
it's such a big industry and it makes so much money. That's what I come up always, like
And
I
it's
said.
new.
And it's new, yeah, for sure. And that's why I was saying everything at the end of the day comes about money. If they can make more money off you, they will do it. You know, big companies, everybody, that's what they do. Okay, so
One of the things that the movie was suggesting, hey, how should we regulate this? One of the guys, I think he worked for Twitter, if I'm correct. I don't remember his name, but he was saying that, hey, we should tax their data collection. So,
Yeah.
you know, the more data you collect, the more you get taxed.
Yeah.
So that's your incentive to, hey, not to gather every data because they probably
Yeah.
know everything about us. And that way you kind of get them restricted.
fact,
And I think it's a pretty good idea, to
Yeah.
be honest with you.
there's, you know, as a community or as a society, we need to come together and
Come together, raise each other's awareness, and that's what
Yeah.
we're trying to do here.
find what is best for us. You know, I don't have the answers. You know what I mean? We could talk about it. We don't have the answers, but as a society, we should come together and accept that, hey, yes, we are being targeted.
We are being targeted.
But at the same time, I have a mentality of, you know what, they can do whatever they want to do. I gotta be careful with what kind of information
You're
I take.
responsible for what you hear.
Yeah. So I will promote. I will tell people, hey, be responsible.
Yeah.
Don't just say, oh, that's what they're feeding us.
Don't play
Oh.
that victim role.
No,
right?
man, don't do that. So just be responsible.
Yeah.
And at the same time, let's make those
They
changes.
also have to be responsible.
They also have to be, you know, they also have to implement changes.
Okay.
So
That's good, man.
yeah, man.
Well, I think we went for 50 minutes.
50?
Yeah, without even having to try so
Wow.
hard. To
I mean,
make-
it's such an interesting topic,
it's
bro.
such an interesting topic. We can go for probably an hour more.
Yeah.
I got to get back to work.
Yeah, guys, come on. It's early morning. We probably looked a bit
10
sleepy,
o'clock. Yeah.
but we did it, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks for watching or listening.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
If at any point you realize, hey, I think this information are valuable, make sure you invite your friends to this conversation.
Yeah.
Share this. You know,
Share.
follow, subscribe. Help us beat this fucking algorithm that we just talked about. 'Cause it's-
Guys, help us in this process. At the same time, we just talk shit about social media, and what we're doing, we're
also trying to be-
we're all just trying to use
we're
it.
trying to play by the rules for now until they change.
We're gonna use them just
yeah.
like they're using us.
Exactly.
Uh,
So stay
so-
tuned for the next episode, and until next time, stay safe. Wear a mask.
Yes.
Don't wear a mask.
Whatever.
Do whatever you want to do.
Do whatever you want to do.
Y'all have
man.
a good one.
But like, comment, please share, show love,